All right, hello everybody. It's Wanda from Deep South Homestead, and tonight Danny will be here shortly. He's finishing up with the meeting. He'll be here. Y'all just hang on. So, how did you like the picture? I think a couple of weeks ago we were off last week. We needed a break, had a lot of things we were doing, and 2 weeks ago I said John did the picture. It wasn't John. It was Dale Wheeler, and he sent us I think three pictures so far. And I decided to use this one that's up for the thumbnail. So what do y'all think? Do y'all like that picture? I'm going to probably leave it as our permanent live stream thumbnail so I don't have to hunt things. It'll make life a little bit simpler. And I'm trying to simplify everything. I redid the descriptions on the videos so that you can find things maybe a little easier. I've been trying to figure out, like porch time, I do a thumbnail that's usually the same, just change a couple of words. If I do the live stream the same way, it's just the same thing. You know it's a live stream. And so I'm trying to simplify our lives, guys. Several said they like it. Okay. Anyway, it's been hot. We've been outside. Most mornings we get up, and so the whole thing of this video is going to be about talking about the heat, how to handle it, and tips to do. And when Danny gets here in a few minutes, he'll be giving you some tips. But one of mine is we're learning really quickly the AC. If you don't want a high power bill, take the AC and move it. We bumped it up a notch a couple of days ago, and it still seemed to run. So we bumped it up another notch today, and I noticed it was still running all day. So we bumped it up a third notch. It gets a little warmer in here, but to keep the unit from running 24/7 and never really kicking off, you're going to have to go from whatever temperature baseline you have, you're going to have to keep bumping it up a little bit to get the power bill down. Okay, I was trying to read some comments. Most people just saying howdy right now. Got a lot of people in. If y'all would hit the like and thumbs up, whatever you have to do. Help us get over into some algorithms with that thumbs up. I don't know. I don't like having to say like, share, and subscribe, but you know, if you don't subscribe to us, that's okay. But we do like to have our subscribers here because that y'all are our lifebreds, I guess I could say. Some people say they don't have AC. This year's been brutal. Yeah, when we're outside this morning, I was out and back in by 7. Went and picked some green beans, those weird beans that Danny planted that were supposed to be Kentucky Wonder yellow wax beans, pole beans, and they're pole beans, but they ain't no yellow to them. And there are about 5 different kinds of beans on one plant. They've not made well at all, and it's really hot. It's hotter than they're normally used to. And so I went and picked those. And what else did 2 or 3 things. Oh, I weed eated some. I was weed eating around some beds in between the greenhouses, and I was back in at 7 o'clock. I got all that done and was in at 7. And then I happened to think blueberries. We ain't picked the blueberries. So I braved it and went back out because I was about done at 7, y'all. And so you got to get up early. You got to get outside before it gets too late, because by 9 o'clock, I'm not going outside. I've been inside last few days, maybe a week now, most of the day doing stuff inside. Been canning a lot. I don't know about y'all, but it's been, I think we bumped 100 today. I don't know if we hit 100, but I know we were bumping 100.
I'm here.
Hey, baby.
I'm here, baby.
Have a seat. Oh, you want let me move over.
All right, we're getting there. Oh, man.
You done?
I'm done. It's the last meeting, baby. It's over.
Good. All right. I was
Oh,
telling
man.
them,
Yes, we made 100 today.
what was heat index?
Heat index was 110.
It got up to 111 twice this week, right?
Yes. Heat index was 111.
Right. feels like
Yeah.
it's worse than temperature, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh. Man.
And we do have air conditioning. I know a lot of people, some people are saying they don't have air conditioning, but oh my goodness.
Yeah, air conditioning. I got to get out of these. I've been on these long enough reading and going through stuff.
But yeah, the air conditioning, I can deal with that. We can go over to the off-grid cabin and I can handle that as long as there's a fan. I got a ceiling fan right here going now.
Yeah.
And
we got the temperature turned up in the house, I noticed.
yeah, I turned it up to keep the heat,
Okay.
the unit from going all the
Yeah.
time. We may get a little warm. But we also did over at the cabin, we spent the night over the weekend.
It was one night.
Yeah.
We only stayed one.
And it was hot.
It was bad.
But I had a fan. And I can do it as long as I've got a fan. So Danny
Yeah.
and I have fans through the house, and that's one thing. As long as you've got a breeze blowing. Ceiling fans is a good thing. Little box fans. I've got a little T90 one over at the
Oh yeah,
cabin.
the one you put on you at night when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm spoiled.
Oh man,
They're
guys,
saying his
it's
beard's
been
gone. That's what they're talking
it's
about.
been a tough week. I had a lot to do this week. I can honestly say Wanda and I are fixing to open a new chapter in our life. We've no more meetings for me. It's over. I'm actually out of everything now. We will be totally focused on the homestead.
Yeah.
So.
And y'all, this is the way it looked 99% of the time till about 6 months ago. So I don't think it's nothing big. The hair's the only thing that's a little different. But he started out YouTube with this hair.
Yeah.
And this look. And we changed and transitioned for different things. And we're back to what we started out with, where we started, right?
Well,
pretty much.
Yeah, it's just one of them things, you know. I mean, it's well, I can't talk about it.
They said you're looking younger.
Well, I might be, but I'm not going to sit here and talk about it because it's not something I can talk about.
So this week has been hot. That's what we're talking about. And I don't know this man. He just happened to pop up in my house.
Yeah.
But
it had to be. Well, I can't go there.
So, what would be some of your suggestions for them with the heat? I talked about turning the unit up and having a fan.
Okay, is it
rehydrating?
So that's what you was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Water.
Well, I mean, you got to go back to what I've been telling them now for quite a while, that the heat was coming. And it's fixing to be on the East Coast. I mean, I told them weeks ago it was going to be on the East Coast, especially in the Southeast. It's going to definitely be down in the Southeast. But you know, we talked about blackout curtains.
Okay, I wanted to.
Well, I was fixing to say, wow, the screen changed.
I want to address something before you get off into that.
You need to do a pop out.
Okay, I'll do that in a minute.
Okay.
But Debbie said, how come our backyard thermometer is okay except when it's so hot? There was a post from a local meteorologist said something.
Well, first of all, it depends on what type of thermometer it is. If it is a spring-loaded thermometer, it's probably not going to read accurately. But if it is a mercury thermometer, then you will probably get a more accurate reading. I had to pull that over a little further. It's probably okay right there.
Yeah.
A mercury thermometer is probably going to give you your most accurate reading. The metal ones, and especially if you have a digital one, don't ever trust a digital one. I'm telling you.
They said there's something with these that might be off somewhat. So I think that's probably what the meteorologist is talking about, because we heard that too. And do we have the old-fashioned kind? We have one.
Yes, we have both.
Yeah, we have both kinds, but we did notice in our high tunnels we have the same thermometer in both of them supposedly, but they're always different. And so we thought it was the high tunnels having differences. We swapped them out, and we had issues. So we know that they're not both reading accurately.
Yeah.
Or they're not synced, might be the word I need to
Well,
say.
nothing now is going to be synced. I mean,
Yeah,
if
that
I
was the
look at this
problem.
computer right here, it gives me a particular time. If I look at your phone, it has a different time. I mean,
We did that
now
this morning.
it time is being altered by AI. I mean, I can sit here and tell you all that. You may not believe me, but just check your phone, check your computers, check and see if it doesn't have different times on it.
Jan said the thermometer has red alcohol instead of mercury.
Yes.
That's it. You need the old-timey mercury.
You need the old-timey mercury ones because the new ones are not accurate. I mean, AI is altering time. AI is altering the temperature. They don't want you to know how hot it is. We talked to a friend of ours in Canada who told us today, no, tomorrow.
And she said tomorrow it's going to be 50 Celsius.
Which is 122 degrees.
She said she checked it and said it was 122.
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy if it gets that hot. Our high tunnels are doing okay because we have fans in there, and we don't leave the fans on at night. It's cooled off most nights enough that it's in the 70s at least in the morning, and the high tunnels seem to be doing okay. I'm taking some plants out of mine, but we're putting some new stuff in later.
Somebody wants to know how long this hot weather is going to last. It's going to last a lot longer than you want it to.
Till the cold weather comes.
Well, you got to realize there's a lot of reasoning here. The sun is a lot further north this year. It's always hard to say this on the spectrum. Where it rises in the morning is a lot further north, but where it sets in the evening is about where it's supposed to be. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's the I'm not counting now. I'll never get that word right.
Okay. Say it goes in circles.
The cycle of the Earth goes around the sun. The Earth is tilted a little bit, and it's changed that angle of the sun just a little bit, which means that the sun is going to be a lot further north. You people in the north are going to get the summers that we have here. But now, it's going to be, remember when I talked to you about the grand solar minimum? Get the grand solar minimum out of your head as far as being a tinfoil hat theory. I told you years ago it's going to be extremes. When it's hot, I told you it was going to be extremely hot. When it's cold, I told you it's going to be extremely cold. When it's wet, it's going to be extremely wet. When it's dry, it's going to be extremely dry. It's all about extremes. It may be extremely wet where you're at now. In 2 months from now, you'll be begging for that water. Or it may be dry where you're at now, and you may be burning up, and in 2 months you're flooding. I mean, it's going to all... everything is going to change, and I can't sit here and go into detail with you because YouTube is not going to allow it.
Yeah. They're saying they noticed the sun was rising further north. A lot of people have noticed that it's further north.
Yeah, it's further north.
20 gauge slugs, all you can afford.
If you can find 20 gauge slugs, good luck.
Danny was hunting some.
I've been looking for 20 gauge shells everywhere. I can't find any anywhere.
He wanted some extras, and everywhere we go.
I'm actually having a guy right now make my shells for me. I'm testing out some that he's making for me. I'm having him actually make mine.
See how that goes.
Biden
fell off his bicycle.
Yeah.
Training wheel.
One of his training wheels messed up on the back of it.
I'm wondering why is a 79-year-old man on a bicycle?
They're probably trying to knock him off legally, but I mean, it's one of them things.
Oh.
But anyway, guys, it's the heat wave. Got to figure out what I can say and what I can't say. The government right now is trying to make a decision about Lake Mead and Lake Powell. If Lake Mead goes any lower than a specific rate, see, they've already had to put a new water line in for the cities down the line deeper in Lake Mead, just simply because the one that was supplying them is now coming out of the water. So if they go if they have to go any further, the power companies are not going to be able to keep the turbines going. And when that happens, there's going to be no power for certain people, and there's going to be no water for certain people, and guys, it's not looking good. I'm just going to be honest.
Okay, Debbie says, have you noticed that gasoline doesn't smell like gasoline? Now, we get ours from a guy. He still pumps gas for us.
He pumps all of our fuel for us, yeah.
This old-timey gas station thing. So we don't know if the gas smells like gas. We'd have to ask Howard. Hey, Howard,
Well, we use the non-ethanol. We won't put ethanol in anything we own. We just won't do it.
Okay, the chat jumps. About the time I start reading something, it jumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, the forecast highs in Florida is supposed to be over 103. That's the temperature next week. You know the heat index is going to be way higher than that. And with our humidity, our heat index jumps. What'd you say? One day it was in the 80s.
One day it was 81 degrees and the heat index was 108.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy. The humidity and all, it was just crazy.
I mean, it was like being in a sauna. You walked outside and it's like you just walked into a sauna. You go and just take your breath.
Yeah.
And I'm like, golly, come back in and no, we can do stuff later.
Yeah,
future wars will be fought over water. Tag's right.
Tag, you're exactly right. And Tag and I had a conversation about this this past week. You know, we were saying, and I had a giant track hoe here doing some work, and I have 2 ponds right now. Both of them are about 3 foot low. And Tag and I were talking, you know, if you have 1 pond, build 2 ponds. If you have 2 ponds, build 3 ponds. Because in the future, water is going to be everything. Literally, it's going to be everything, guys. You may think I'm joking, but I promise you, in the future, water will be the #1 issue other than food.
Okay.
Why do I not use ethanol fuel at all? Because it destroys your engines. It destroys any minute rubber parts inside the engines. I mean, it destroys everything about an engine. And I will tell you this, the new diesel fuel is designed to destroy the old diesel engines. If you're trying to use the new low sulfur diesel fuel in old diesel engines, you are fixing to lose your engine because it will literally burn the engine up. You need to be putting 2-cycle engine oil mixed in with your diesel fuel in those old diesels in order for it to be lubricated enough for it not to run hot and burn it up eventually.
Okay. Let's see. Some of them are saying something about water wells and hand.
We have a water well too, but I'm going to tell you what. Right now, what can I say here that I can get away with? The fresh water under the face of the earth is quickly going away. You're fixing to start seeing giant sinkholes pop into the earth, and there's not going to be anything down there. Just usually you see water or something. There's not going to be water. Lots of the country right now is sitting on a mass of caverns or honeycomb type situations up under them because the water is going away, and what's going to happen is salt water is going to begin to backfill into these places, and you're going to have contaminated water systems. So wells may not always be the best deal in the future.
Okay, Ron said, mention later keyhole garden. That's in my bug out garden book for drought. Okay, I have that.
Keyhole gardening is a very nice way of gardening. It's actually if you're handicapped, keyhole gardening is a great way of gardening.
I had it here, but I don't know where the book is. It was right here. But bug out gardening is one of them we gave away of Ron's books. And he talks about different types of gardening.
Yeah.
And drought is one of them because we got a video coming up Monday on sweet potatoes.
Yes.
And Danny was working in the sweet potato garden, all of them, one morning, and we've done some videoing. But at the end, I go back and pull videos from the last 3 or 4 years or 5 and take tidbits out so that you can see the differences in when we had too much water, when we didn't have any water, what it's looking like this year.
Yeah.
Harvest, some of the problems, just because we've had it all here. Our weather's not the same ever.
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird.
Yeah. Everybody wants to, let me say this. Everybody wants to blame it on fracking. It's not fracking that's causing this, guys. I cannot go into detail about this.
You said the earth shifted. You've got a bowl and you touch it just a little bit, the water's gonna move.
Yeah.
And we're at, our well is what? You said
65
65 feet.
Yeah.
We don't need I mean, we're not that deep, so we don't want it to go away, surface water, you know? Keyhole gardening, wouldn't this type of gardening would be as bad as a raised bed due to evaporation? I don't understand what they're at. It's an awesome, somebody says it's an awesome design way to grow. I'm not understanding that with the Veronica. Keyhole gardening, wouldn't this type of gardening would be as a bed as raised beds due to evaporation. I think what she's asking is, would it evaporate like a raised bed? So
it's
guys, the way you set it up.
It all depends on how you, it's all about permaculture. Let me just tell you that evaporation. It doesn't matter what you do. Evaporation is fixing to happen. There's no way you're fixing to be able to stop evaporation. You've got intense radiation coming in here from the sun because the geomagnetic fields around the earth are relaxing. The sun's rays are a lot more radiation from the sun is coming in here. It is literally going to change the composition of the soil. I don't care what you do in the garden. I don't care how much compost you use. I don't care what methods of gardening you use. Your garden is not going to function like it normally does. The phosphorus in the soil is going to be bound up. Your plants are not going to be able to take it up unless you use liquid phosphorus. I mean, I could sit here and go on for hours, but you just have to understand there is an evil agenda that we are a part of right now. There's nothing we can do to change it. It's going to happen. It's part of the last days of an age. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean.
Okay, Patricia says, I have a problem with yellow squash. Watered well, soil amended, but they grow about as big as your thumb and they shrivel and fall off.
They're not pollinating.
You may have to hand pollinate.
You may have to hand pollinate. They're not pollinating. Anytime a squash does not pollinate, it'll shrivel up and just fall right off.
The best way to deter rats from eating tomatoes.
Oh my goodness, kill the rats. I mean, clean up. Clean the place up. If it's got rats, it's not clean. There's junk laying everywhere. There's weeds. There's something. I mean, rats will burrow up in the ground. Now, I get that. Wanda and I had them in a building we had around here, and it was because we had trash piled around in different places. I got rid of all the trash piles and everything, and the rats went away.
Yeah, and we have a couple of things where we've been working on the cellar the last year, and those trash piles have to go away now.
Yeah.
Oh. So let's see, we have over 100 acres of land with 2 creeks. So would you recommend putting in at least 1 pond?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Recommend a cistern if there is no area for a pond.
Yes, anything you can do. As long as it's legal, anything you can do to catch water. I mean, even if you have to put a ram pump in a creek nearby you and pump the water up to a cistern on top of a hill or whatever, do what you have to do.
All right, Veronica asked, can you can bone broth and how long would it last? Yes, I always can a lot of broth and it should last, I say 5 years if you're putting it in a jar. And my deal is I rotate out. I don't usually let things get to the 5-year. Maybe a few jars might actually make it to 5 years. But every year, make fresh, bring the old forward, and keep rotating. That way, you will have fresh bone broth every year added to your stash.
Guys, I know lots of questions is going by. We are not getting to all of them.
About diesel engine do you consider?
What age diesel engine do you consider old? Anything pre-1974. If it's before well, let's see. No, I changed that back. Anything pre-1985. Anything pre-85, I would definitely consider it to not to run on the new diesel fuel.
All right. Why are my bean leaves turning yellow and falling off?
And they have blooms.
Too hot.
Sure, I mean, it could be a ton of things. It could be a lack of nitrogen, a lack of water, too much heat, too much rain. I mean, it can be ours are turning yellow. Wanda and I, every time we pick beans, we just pick the yellow leaves off and throw them on the ground.
It looks like a yellow forest when we get through, because we've been doing this 2 weeks, throwing just leaves on the ground. I mean, we barely have any green on it. Allison is posting the book, The Bug Out Gardening Guide, for those of you wanting to know about Keystone Gardening.
Thank you for the glass of water.
Oh, you're welcome. And so check it out, Ron Foster, The Bug Out Gardening Guide. That's it.
Oh, thank you, Condessa.
Let's see. Something is eating the flowers off my squashes. Slugs, maybe?
Something's eating the flowers off my squashes. It could be slugs. Definitely could be slugs. I mean,
How
the
is
best thing to do is to prune your squash plants. That's what I do. I constantly prune my squash plants.
it saves them for a
It
while?
saves them for a long time.
How is your Coolbot doing?
The cooler is doing great. I mean, it has been 110, 111 here heat index, and that thing is performing. And it don't even run all the time. I mean, I'm out there lots of times. I'll hear the unit kick on for a little while, and then it turns off. It may kick on for a little. It's like an air conditioner in a house. It just kicks on every so often.
All right.
Hey, Mr. Billy. Glad you made it in here, brother.
Yeah, let's see. Did you darken your hair? It looks really good. No.
No.
I'm sitting, the lighting, I'm having to sit up to read, and the
Yeah.
lighting, my hair never has been, I don't know that I've
We
ever
don't,
colored
Wanda and
my
I
hair.
don't color our hair or anything.
I'm trying to think. Back in the day, I used to put some sun in it and go outside and turn it blonde. One year I was totally blonde from bleaching my hair out with sun in and staying outside, but for the most part,
Thank you,
it's
Backwoods Country
natural.
Boy.
Yeah, thank you, Backwoods Country Boy. How many days to harvest Yukon potatoes?
Most potatoes, depending on the breed, really, it can be anywhere between, I usually say about 90 days. I mean, just watch the plant. When the plant begins to die and the leaves on the bottom leaves begin to turn yellow. Now, rule of thumb, it's best to let the potato lay in the ground 2 weeks after the plant completely dies. If you live in an area where there's no fire ants at and it's not flooding down, raining all the time or something like that, where they'll rot. But if it's just normal weather and you leave them in the ground for 2 weeks after the plant dies, they will actually cure better that way. And when you dig them up, they will last longer.
Okay, I'm trying to see.
If you have bad slug problem, use little round lids, like cannonball, mayonnaise jar lids or something like that. Fill it full of beer and set it around in your garden, and it'll get rid of all them slugs. Or use crushed up eggshells.
How do you deter raccoons from chicken coops?
I'm going to tell y'all something. Billy's from Permapasture Farms Bone Sauce has worked miracles here for us. I mean, we've had no raccoons, we've had no possums,
No, we
no deer.
Skunk. We don't know where that comes.
Yeah, but he could have been from way away from here somewhere. It was just
Day before.
the second skunk we've smelt in probably 10 years.
And when it's all been this summer.
Yeah. I killed the other one, but
Earlier, it was yesterday. No, day before.
I don't know. It was early one morning anyway.
He walked out and he come back in. He goes.
It was bad.
And I said, "What?" He said, "There's a skunk somewhere." So when you know you smell it, you go outside looking everywhere. He finally went outside.
I grabbed my pistol. I told her, "I'm not going outside without my pistol." I said, "If I see that sucker, I'm gonna fill him full of holes."
And I said, "If you get sprayed, do not come back in the house." And so I went out, and when I did, it was still strong. And so I looked all in my herb garden before I got off the porch. I didn't want to get sprayed. And when I walked into the she shed, I looked everywhere around there to make sure he wasn't nowhere in there. But actually it was the wind, because within an hour you couldn't even smell it. So he wasn't physically here and sprayed, but the wind was toting it somewhere.
Sandra Johnson, you need to go and get you some of Billy's bone sauce. That stuff has worked miracles for us. Do you do anything to help your chickens stay cool? Just keep them hydrated. I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, our chickens are right out there in the sun. I mean, they do fine.
Well, ours have a building that they can get in. Each pen that we have, all of them have their own building, and they can go in it. And during the day, they take advantage of it. They go in there and they get up in that ground and they dust.
Hey, Sheila.
And they feel better. I saw Jen from the Nut House and Sheila, so 2 of our old
Oh, I
friends
didn't
popped
see
in.
Jen. I didn't know Jen
Yeah,
was in
she's
here.
here somewhere.
All right.
Let's see. I'm trying. Your last video was a real blessing. Thank you, Old Timer Homestead. Somebody else said something about my video. I was very nervous about doing that. I wanted to be a part of the collab when I was asked to be a part of Women of Faith. And I did not know when she asked me a couple of months ago to be a part of that. And this was Super at 60, SOUPER, Super at 60 asked me that this week, when I had to do that video, that Danny's videos were going to be on Faith too. That was not planned. It just, God
orchestrated that one.
Because Danny did his Faith videos this week, and he didn't really know about mine.
I shot mine way ahead of time.
Yeah, yours was almost
mine was shot almost a week and a half ahead of time, because I knew I wasn't going to have the time or be here. And so mine, he didn't really know what I was doing until I put it up. Yeah.
And so it was quite by accident that they all ended up, but God knew it, not me. We didn't plan it that way.
Somebody asking, have I heard anything on the grist mill? Yes, I have. I've talked to Mr. Justin. Justin has already sent me videos showing it working.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It's an amazing piece of equipment. Probably the most...
And it's beautiful.
That's what you say. It's probably the most beautiful grist mill you'll ever come across in your life. I mean, the fella has done a fantastic job. They have a... what is it? Billy could tell you about it on here. They have a place that they're supposed to be meeting up there.
This weekend.
This weekend, and I think he's going to be there with it.
Or is it today? Billy, are you there tonight? And just pop.
Tell us.
Forgot. It's at a fairgrounds or something, but I don't know. I want to say it's there close to their house in North Carolina, right?
It's somewhere not far from. It was in Spartanburg.
That's it, Spartanburg.
It was in Spartanburg,
yeah,
South Carolina.
That's where Adrian's at.
There.
One of our friends.
Somebody will know, can you recommend a book on canning, because they're just learning how to can?
Ball books. Ball Blue Book.
The Ball Blue Book.
Hold on. Who asked that?
Somebody way back there. I'm trying to keep some of these questions in my mind as we.
The one that asked, will you email me and say, I asked about a canning book, and I will send you a canning book. I have one here that I was going to do a giveaway, and then if you're interested, why not?
Well, you have to grab that and run back on it. I don't like the mouse. Hold on. Keep going on.
I saw Brandy Barger. Okay, Brandy, if you will, I think that's who I saw. Send me an email and I will send you a book.
Yeah, give us your address and send us an email. Wanda will
and just
send
say I'm the one that was asking about canning, and I will send you a book. I have one I was going to give away, and I just soon give it somebody that's very interested in it.
Mountain Creek Homestead said, I'm near Spartanburg. Wait, you have to ask Billy. If Billy's still in here, yeah, I mean, he'll have to tell you some of the details about it. Maybe he can type in some of the details. There he is. I just left that event a moment ago. Justin showed up later. Okay, he said he was supposed to be there.
Is it going on tomorrow, Billy? Because I wasn't sure if it was just a one-day event or whatever.
Ron said he lets his girlfriend cut his hair, sometimes uses a colander, just cuts whatever sticks out. What we used to call a bowl haircut. Okay, people have asked this question 100 times. I got to get to it. It keeps going by and we're just sitting here yakking. They want to know about all the cows that have died.
Oh, well, none of ours. But
none of ours, but they're talking about the three. I think it's around 3,000 of them died out.
We've heard a few stories.
I've heard a lot of stories about those cows, but let me tell you something. Let me just, what I can say and what I can't say here. Let me word it this way. Let's use some common sense. Okay? If you've got 3,000 cows in a lot, they're not all going to die at the same time. Okay? A few of them will die. A few of them will die. And then a few of them will die. And it may take weeks.
But for all of them
at one time, no.
unless somebody ain't paying no attention.
And they had no water whatsoever. If somebody just did not water them out there in the intense heat, it's possible they could all die within. But they still wouldn't die within one day.
Yeah.
Because cows are like people. Some people, if you don't give them water for 3 or 4 days, they'll still be alive. Some of them would die the next day. I mean, God, I want to talk.
Okay, that's enough.
That's enough. Okay. Planned event. Okay.
10,000 cows.
Yeah.
That's a lot in one spot. And
yeah.
I mean, that's like putting 10,000 people in one spot and all of a sudden they all fell over dead. You would pretty much want to know why, because 10,000 people are 10,000 different people with different body makeups and everything. We all ate different and done things. That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's I'm not even gonna go there. I mean, I could probably tell you what happened, but I'm just not even gonna go there. There is an event that more than likely took place. Let's just put it this way. We now have the technology to literally shut down any organ in your body or my body off of frequency.
Allison said she's getting rain.
I don't even want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. We are not going to have Danny corn this year. Let me just go ahead and tell you all that.
We're pretty much thinking.
We're pretty much, unless God does a miracle, and unless y'all pray for a miracle here at Deep South Homestead, we probably won't have any Danny corn this year because it's
not to sell.
Not to sell. Well, you know, if we have any to save seed from.
But it looks like it is totally in the drying stage now, and it's just now putting the ears on.
Yeah.
It's starting to dry, and y'all, Danny's been working at it.
I have watered that corn and watered it, and it's
not doing
just
any good.
There's so much of a lack of moisture that it's literally the stalks are just shriveling up and just falling over. I mean, there's no moisture to even hold them up. You know, I mean, there's just not going to be any, and that breaks my heart because I had high hopes of helping a lot of people out this year by putting some Danny corn up on our Etsy store.
Oh, on Etsy. Well, I'm thinking about it. We do have our 3 books. His sweet potato manual, English pea manual, and our carrot manual. They are up, and we have plenty of those. But so many people have asked about my cookbook. So I broke down the first of this week or into last week one, contacted the company, paid for the books. I will have books here shortly. They hadn't given me a date on when they're shipping yet.
Yes.
But hopefully within the next couple of weeks, Wanda's cookbooks will be back on Etsy. So for those of you that asked, just keep checking. I'll probably do in one of the videos we'll tell that they're back up. But also I put up the onions, the multiplying onions.
Yes, we put a few multiplying onions.
Almost sold like hotcakes, and I didn't even tell anybody I put them up. They just went. I have a few left. And there were people that asked me, specific people that sent me messages 6 months ago asking for them. If you were not one of the ones that's already bought, send me an email and say, because I remember the names when I see them. I just can't tell you spouting off names. So say I was one of the ones and send me a message, because I will try and have enough for a few more people. And we might even have some after we redo the bed.
Yeah. We may have a few more in the future. We're not sure.
So, what happened to our trans beans? We picked a few this morning.
Yeah, Wanda picked a few of them this morning, and
I probably put up less than 20 quarts.
Yeah, they haven't done well.
And I should have put up 60 to 75 quarts off these beans, and we might have gotten 20 quarts the whole time we've picked.
Yeah.
So, and this is not a new cookbook. It is the cookbook that has from garden to pantry to table in the Deep South kitchen is the name of it.
Macmillan Urban Gardening. I am so glad y'all actually used our code and was able to save some money.
On the high tunnels?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and we became affiliates with Grower Solution.
Did we?
Yes.
What? What, after how many years?
2 years we've had greenhouses, and they did not have an affiliate program. So when we told y'all y'all get 10% off, we didn't get anything.
We don't get nothing.
But as of
We got to buy our greenhouse just like you did.
as of a week ago, we are affiliates with Grower Solutions. So anybody that buys a high tunnel or a greenhouse, we will get a short little bitty percentage out of it. But hey, that's nice.
Yeah. Do I think the high tunnels are the way to get through some of this? Candy, high tunnels is going to be probably the only way to get through this.
Danny, is your book's information on growing food in the South only?
No, that covers the whole United States.
Each one of them can be grown the same way wherever.
Can I do a Danny corn high tunnel? Oh yeah, I could do it if I had dedicated one whole high tunnel to nothing but Danny corn.
Because I'm growing popcorn right now, and
it would grow to the top of it, I can tell you.
Yeah. My popcorn it has little ears on it and stuff. So I did popcorn last year, and I've got popcorn this year. So it's not a lot, but I'm playing with my high tunnel to make sure I know what I can do. So it could do. But our high tunnel's only like 12 feet.
They're only 12 feet to the top. My corn's over 12 feet tall. I'm telling you, it would grow to
tall.
At least 14 foot. Yeah.
All right. The sun is just too hot here in Mississippi. Macmillan Urban Gardening. Yes, it's hot, honey.
It's hot. Let me tell y'all.
That's our friends that visited.
Friends that they visited here the other day had a blast with them.
Yeah. Miss Gail says her garden is like fried green tomatoes. That's about how everybody's is fixing to be.
Brandy said she sent you an email.
Good. Well, I will send you a book, dear.
Yeah.
I like to be able to send gifts to people I know will use them. Sometimes when we do giveaways and you use a randomizer, you don't know if the person you're sending it to might already have something, or they don't care about it, or whatever. They just win because they win. So I like to be able to send it to somebody that would use it.
Yeah.
All right. How do I store water in, is that Southern Cal?
How do I store water in
SoCal?
Southern California?
That's what I'm thinking.
We are in a drought, and it hardly ever rains. I live in the city and would like to collect rainwater.
You first had to.
First of all, you better find out if it's legal for you to do it in California, because everything in California is illegal.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it causes cancer.
And it causes cancer. So
if you're in California, everything causes cancer.
Yeah, Proposition, what is it, 65? I had to wait till you got a mouthful of water to do that one.
Everything we pick up in Mississippi.
In Mississippi says Proposition 65 causes cancer in California. That's why I wouldn't want to live in California, because everything causes cancer there.
You know, I'm sorry, we're making fun of California.
No,
we shouldn't be making fun of California.
No, there's great people in California. They can't help the
Jen at the Nut House says she hadn't left yet. Honey,
Jen,
waiting 2 years.
Jen, sweetheart, what y'all waiting on? Good Lord.
Pack that truck and go.
Get out of there. The tecton plates are fixing to break. I mean, it's like the whole place is a giant honeycomb underneath it. I mean, good Lord.
She knows that. She was studying that stuff.
I know it, but it bothers me because her and Mike are such great people. I mean,
she just goes out and looks at it because she likes to see what it looks like.
I know it, but I can't help it. When I care about people, I hate that something could happen to them. Oh,
she said it's 350 gallons of collected rainwater allowance. So where she's at, she can collect 350 gallons.
Wow, 350 gallons won't do nothing hardly. You won't even water the garden.
Most people.
Yeah.
Most people use 350 gallons in no time.
Homestead Wannabe says it's not legal to collect rainwater in their little town in Michigan.
Let's see.
How
are your magic trees doing? My gojis, I transplanted 2 into the high tunnel, and the leaves started turning yellow, so I don't know if I transplanted them too early or what. I'm trying to keep them watered, but I've still got 4 or 5 or 6 over in the high tunnel, and Danny's supposedly keeping them watered in the little, not the high tunnel,
those Remington solar
the
greenhouse.
little mini greenhouse.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I hadn't been over there paying any attention. He's handling that while I'm handling this. Jen said, the trailer is packed.
We are chomping, literally living in our fifth wheel.
Waiting for final papers.
Oh, girl. Man, y'all are pulling it down to the last thing. I'm telling you.
She's going to leave California with all the bridges burning and all the collapsing behind.
The day she pulls out, they're probably going to pull the plug on their water. They're probably going to tell them no more water, you know?
Movies.
Oh, I know. I know what you're saying.
She's going to
yeah.
A little dramatic, but that's the way I see it.
Oh, man.
Let's see.
Shepherd, Lolly says that the gas station in this town was completely out of gas today. Never seen that in their life. Well, get used to it because it's probably going to happen a whole lot more. The I Am of Me Jam in the Nut House is in California, Southern California.
Yeah, she ain't far from Mexico.
No, she ain't far. Yeah.
This one.
Did the judge show leniency? Well, Cletus, it's the judge just happened to be my friend. Literally, he is. I mean, I hate to say that. And the sheriff is my friend, and the chief of police is my friend. Matter of fact, the chief of police watches our YouTube channel. The board of supervisors are my friends. I mean, I have the whole city in my back pocket.
They just heard that. Now they're going to kick you out.
Well, it ain't that I get away with anything. Let me put it that way. No, I get away with nothing.
Oh, y'all, happy Father's Day to all
that's actually tomorrow. We don't really celebrate holidays, but I mean, that's great.
But I did buy him something.
She bought me something yesterday. I think she bought it more for her than she was me because I hadn't even used it. But
I have twice.
She's used it twice. She bought a brand new state-of-the-art gas grill. I mean, this thing is
Royal King.
American made,
yes.
Nothing Chinese on this thing. I mean,
don't say nothing because
I mean, I guess they may be a button or a screw
one of them little turn-on buttons probably come from Taiwan.
The battery that's in it probably come from Taiwan or something. But yeah, she bought a state-of-the-art Royal King grill. We figured as much money as we spend on these little Walmart specials every year,
we buy a new grill.
We just decided, or she did, she decided to go ahead and just go ahead and bite the bullet and just buy a nice one.
Actually, it didn't cost me much more than what
because
for the last one.
We got a 25% discount when we went in there.
Yeah.
And plus we got a new grill cover for free. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, came with it. Yeah.
But we went to Jack's Plant and Patio. Y'all know we like our Jack's Plant and Patio. Yeah. And I told him, I said, we got to stop in here. And he says, I just want to go home. I'm tired.
I was just exhausted. I said, I've been going like crazy. I said, Wanda, just take me home.
And I said, nope, we got to stop in here. And we go in there and I'm looking and he says, what do you need? And I said, a grill. I said, it's Father's Day. And he says, I don't need anything. And I said, I know, but I need a grill. So happy Father's Day. It cooks amazing. I did cook for him twice. And so we just had to have something. But I like it.
She's cooked on it twice and said, wow, this is like cooking in the house, you know?
Yeah. I cooked grilled veggies. I had, eggplant, squash, and zucchini, and onion. Y'all, if y'all have never grilled an onion, y'all grab you a grill somewhere, even the cheap Walmart $10 grills, and put you some briquettes under there, grill you an onion. I'm telling you, you will thank me. That is the best stuff. We've still got probably, 40 or 50 onions left?
Or more.
I did can 27 pints of onions day before yesterday. And y'all, we still got onions, and I grilled onions, and oh my goodness, I grilled them for lunch and I grilled them for supper. Yeah,
it's one of those things that you don't really know how good something is until you've actually, had it firsthand.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the pineapples.
Oh, I know. I told Danny, I said,
that's what I'm waiting on.
We got 3 pineapples about yay big, in our greenhouse behind the barn. And I told him, I said, I hadn't been out there in about 2 weeks. I said, have those pineapples turned yet? And he said, no, they're still green.
Yeah, they're still green. Guys, they keep wanting me to talk about Lake Mead and Lake Powell. Okay.
Much more you can say.
Well, Lake Mead, let me put it to you this way. If Lake Mead ever gets back to normal, and I talk about this on Patreon, if you want to listen, I have a pretty good video over on Patreon talking about this kind of stuff. It's going to take 10 years of above average snowpack up in the Rocky Mountains in order to bring Lake Mead just back up to normal. That's not to overflowing or anything like that. That's just to get it back to normal. And then if you have 1 year in that 10 that's not normal and is below normal, that throws the whole thing off again, because then you've got low water again. So I mean,
they're talking about grilling peaches and plums. Now our peaches haven't gotten ripe yet.
No.
Okay, you remind me to try a peach.
Okay.
I'm just, and we don't have any plums, or do we have?
We don't have any plums this year.
I don't. They all fell off.
Yeah.
They got cold.
All of our apples are falling off. Everything's happening here. We don't hardly have any pears this year. Everything. I want to know, has anyone heard from Eric from Life and Farmland? You talk to Jenna all the time.
He's actually been doing better. She was planting a garden. I saw her post a couple of days ago. This is the first time in 2 or 3 years that she's actually been able to plant a garden. And so she was kind of excited. They have traveled a little bit because he had gotten well enough that they could go places and stuff. And their daughter's growing up. She's turning into quite a young lady.
Yeah. Oh, there's something I have to address here. A ton of people tonight have said, I bet since I've had all my hair taken off, I bet it's a lot cooler. I'm going to have to disagree with you. It is burning me up with short hair. My hair used to protect my head. It used to protect the back of my neck and everything like that. I mean, I come in, I told Wanda, I said, well, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to take it. My head is literally burning up without my hair. And it's you know, I mean, well, once I completed the mission that I was on, I don't need the hair anymore. So that part of my life is over now. So we're moving forward, and we are.
Somebody said watermelon. Grill watermelon.
I've never grilled watermelon.
It's
all water.
I've got one.
You've got one on the bar in there, but I mean,
thank you, Barrett.
We will. We can try it.
Yeah. Yeah, he thought it might be a little cooler, but it's actually been.
It's actually been hotter. It's been hotter for me. I'll tell you. I'm not gonna lie about it. Creative Flow says, Wanda, did you cut it? No.
Danny, where's your hat? He wears a hat when he's outside, but the back of his neck.
Even with a hat on, my head's burning up now. So, I'm used to folding my hair up, putting it on top of my head up here.
But you still had the neck hair.
I did. I had hair on my neck, which protected my neck.
Yeah, and there's no protection there. Plus, when you first cut your hair and somebody shaves you and all this stuff,
yeah, it
blisters faster and easier because it hadn't had the sun.
Jen says, thank you. Now, don't you ever do that again. Wearing a bigger hat, Danny.
He's got a big floppy hat.
I have an Amish hat that I wear.
But with his haircut, it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It fell down on his head.
It fell down over my head, yeah.
He's like, man, my head shrunk. It's funny. We've had a lot going on, but Jennifer says she's looking for sugarcane. Look in the fall. I don't know if you can
sugarcane usually sells
October.
Usually around October, and I don't know if we'll have any this year. It depends on this drought. I mean, if we ever get a break from it, I mean, it's bad, guys. I may do a video this week on showing y'all just how bad it is here at Deep South Homestead.
We're hoping it'll rain.
Cheryl says, what is your new mission? I really can't talk about that right now.
To take care of Deep South Homestead. That's it.
Right now, we've closed a chapter in our life. I've had my last meeting. So we'll be focusing mainly on the homestead from this point forward.
Veronica wants to know, is there a way to save or can watermelon? Okay, there's many ways, but you can dehydrate and it tastes like it's really good. Freeze dried is absolutely amazing. If you don't have freeze dryer, then that won't work. You can, there's a watermelon rind where you do the rind and make it taste like candy. It'll taste like Red Hots. Can you can the watermelon itself?
Yes, you can make watermelon preserves. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff with watermelon.
Yeah, I hadn't done that. But I'm planning on freeze drying some. I've got one that I'm fixing to take part of it and freeze dry. We did that last year and I've got cantaloupe I'm fixing to put in the freeze dryer. Barrett had Kelly bring us some today, and oh my goodness. Barrett brought the first cantaloupe the other day.
Yeah.
And it was delicious. I don't like cantaloupe, y'all, but I found I can eat it with cream cheese and powdered sugar mixed together and dipping that cantaloupe in there. It tastes really good. I have to have a sugar with mine, y'all.
Yeah, it's you can do a lot of things with watermelon. I mean, it's really a matter of fact, watermelon is actually a very good fruit for the body.
Yeah. Something is eating my pecan tree leaves at night. They're in South Mississippi. That's Matt Lee.
There is a worm that gets in pecan trees, it gets in oak trees, it gets all over the place, that literally can strip a tree in just days. And it's a worm that gets, it's a big old worm. I think it looks horrible. He looks ugly.
Let's see. It passes so fast. Anyone seen or grown a square watermelon?
I actually have saw a square watermelon before in my life. Yes, I have.
Haven't. Yeah. Freeze-dried cantaloupe is amazing. That's the only way I liked it last year.
It is amazing.
I've never liked cantaloupe, but we freeze-dried it and I was like hooked. And this year I've learned to eat it fresh. Like I said, with cream cheese and powdered sugar mixed up together, I can eat about any kind of fruit, but it gave it a good taste. And so now I know I can eat it fresh as well as freeze-dried.
Let's see here.
Trying to find a better way to store seeds.
I'm Condessa. I'm with Condessa. I'm waiting to see what Kevin and Sarah, they planted Danny corn, or said they did. I don't know if they have yet.
Yeah, they've already got it planted.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't.
I think it's up.
I haven't been able to talk to anybody or watch any kind of YouTube or anything. Can I talk more in depth on Patreon? I talked a pretty good bit the other day in a video about some stuff.
You can dehydrate cantaloupe too, yes.
Yeah. Slow chat so you can read comments. Yeah, it's kind of slowed down a little bit tonight. And thankfully, it's not as bad as it normally is. Let's see.
There are several things damaging our pecan trees.
Pecan trees are like all other trees. If you don't keep them sprayed with something, they get eat up by everything. And we just don't believe in spraying stuff. So ours just you know, it is what it is. Do we have prickly pear on the property? Yes, we do. We have two of them that I know of.
Somebody was asking, can you dehydrate cantaloupe? Yes.
What is our Patreon link? Just go to Deep South Homestead.
Go to Patreon
and look for Deep South Homestead, and it'll take you right to it.
Deep South Homestead on everything.
J.M. Bagby says that their goji berry plants are getting big quick. All right.
See, mine's kind of like it's stunning, but it's so hot, and even water and some things are doing really well. The one thing that's doing absolutely amazing in my high tunnel is the peppercorn plants.
Yeah.
They are just, all of a sudden, it's like they got a boost of energy and they're going crazy, all four of them.
And Three Rollers Farm says, Daniel looks like he's ready to go to a dance. As a matter of fact, I just got in. Matter of fact, if you watch the front of the video, Wanda had started it without me, and I actually came in a little bit late.
What causes worms to eat potatoes in the ground? How can you stop that from happening?
Worms that eat potatoes in the ground is usually called a wire worm. They'll eat holes all in the potatoes everywhere, and if it's not holes, then it's rats. So you have to determine which is which. But You have to move your potato patch next year to get away from the wireworms.
Weather is so off on Long Island. I only got my sweet potatoes in last week, hoping to have enough growth time.
If you got to have 125 days, I can tell you that.
We have got sweet potatoes in what, 3 patches? And we're fixing to start planting them in other spots too.
Yeah.
We're just gonna put sweet potatoes everywhere, and usually they're pretty drought tolerant, but they don't. I mean, boy, they're curling up this time.
Yeah. Kyle, I think Kyle Hedinger. Yes, the summertime heat is probably going to trigger a lot of power outages. You have to understand, right now our country is hardwiring itself against an EMP attack, and we are. Well, let's just say this. They've purchased a lot of different transformers, and the transformers are not going to be used for these power outages. They're going to be saved with the intense heat. The transformer is only designed to take so much heat, and with the intense heat from the sun, and then overheating them by people using too much electricity, many of them are going to blow out and burn up, and they're not going to replace a lot of them. They're just going to let them go.
J.M. Bagby is the one that sent the flavored popcorns.
Yeah.
They're all gone. I'm gonna just say somebody ate all of them, and it was probably me.
It wasn't me, I know that.
It was delicious. I'm gonna tell you, I like the blueberry popcorn was amazing. The caramel was out of this world. I even looked up gonna make my own caramel the other night, and it was such a bother and having to pop popcorn and make the caramel sauce, pouring it over it, then baking it in the oven. I said, forget it. I'll just eat regular popcorn. So that's what we had for snack is regular popcorn. But I do miss that. That was good. I've eaten all of them. They were all good.
Sweet Pea says, "Why are stink bugs so bad this year?" Look. They are really bad here. I mean, I eventually today pulled up every tomato plant we had and just threw them away except for the ones in the high tunnels, because every plant had 50 to 100 stink bugs on it, and there's no sense in trying to fight that. I just pull them up.
What was the bugs you found?
Oh, we got kudzu bugs now.
We found them a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we had them a couple of years ago, but they're back this year. They actually got in my high tunnel, and I'm fighting them like crazy. I'm not going to spray anything. I'm having to kill them by hand, but the kudzu bug has made a comeback.
Yes, we have a Barbados cherry tree. We have harvested.
We've harvested quite a few off of it.
I know, about a quarter better already. They come in spells. I get 4 or 5, and then I get 4 or 5 more, and it was blooming like crazy the other day. So I know I'll have another batch coming in. But Barbados cherries is high in vitamin C, and I've got them stashed in the freezer. I'm gonna do something with them, whether it's making juice or something, or creating something. I'm not sure yet.
Deanna asked, "How much does the Patreon channel cost?" It's $3
a month.
A month. I mean,
or $30 a year.
Or $30 a year, which is pocket change. You know what I mean? We don't charge any more than that. And let me say this: I got to go ahead and do this and get this. I got to get this off my chest. I reckon. We have got tons of emails, people complaining about advertisements, complaining about us showing products and different things like that. And let me say this. Now, this is not intended for any of you people here, I don't believe. But YouTube, when you turn YouTube on, it's free. Okay? I mean, let's just get it. I mean,
unless you pay
for RedTube, if you pay for RedTube and not to have ads, then it's not free for you. But 99% of the people, YouTube is free. Guess what? YouTube is not free for me and Wanda. YouTube costs me and Wanda thousands of dollars every year. So whatever we have to do to be able to compensate for that, we have to do it. I mean, we sit down and we figured up our hourly wages that we made on YouTube. We're making just a little over $1 an hour. Now, I mean, how many people, including y'all, how many of y'all would work every day of your life for $1 and something an hour? There's not many people that would do that. And yet we have people that come on our channel, and like I said, probably not you guys, because you guys are like our core people. We love y'all. But there's so many people who come on there and they bitch and gripe about the simple fact that we might put up the EMP shield thing trying to save people's houses from lightning strikes or something.
Or we talk about the high tunnels.
We talk about the high tunnels. We talk about
My Patriot Supply, which we don't do My Patriot Supply that often, but I guess we should.
We probably should, but we don't because people need food. You know, I mean,
we try to teach y'all to grow food, but we do have a link for My Patriot Supply in case you want to buy the packaged long-term storage. Yeah. But we mainly did it because of the Alexapure. We like the Alexapure, and that is a water filtration. We think everybody should have a way to filter water. It's going to be important. Yeah. And so we've had My Patriot Supply for 3 or 4 years, but we hardly ever even mention it.
We don't even mention it hardly, but people throw a fit because, oh, y'all are just out there, y'all are like, what do they call them, e-beggars. I'm like, I ain't begging nobody for nothing. I'm financially successful. I don't need it. I mean, it's just one of them things, but we just get tired of people inundating us with emails and stuff like this. So as a result, because we're only making $1 and something an hour on YouTube, Wanda and I will be cutting back. I mean, we're going to cut back our videos. We'll still be having porch time, and we'll still have a couple other videos a week.
And we'll still be doing the live.
We'll still be doing the live stream, but
I've got to slow down because it had gotten to the point, especially the last 4 to 5 weeks, where we were butchering chickens, canning, gardening, plus YouTube, Etsy. Between all of it, it just got too much. And I told Danny, I said, we got to slow down a little bit. So yeah, I can do 2 videos a week. Porch time's easy. He doesn't make mistakes. I just whack it up front and end where he turns the camera on and off, and it goes up. So porch time's easy. Live stream's easy. I turn it on, we talk, and we get through, we're gone. So 2 videos, porch time and live stream's easy for us. The other 2, I will have to do a little editing and stuff, but you know, I like editing. That's the problem. I like it too much, and Danny says I spend way too much time editing.
Okay. Thank you. Was it Patricia? I mean, you have to go back and say.
I think it was Patricia.
Thank you, Patricia. And the thing about it is Patricia, I don't know of anything you can plant with potatoes to keep pests away. I mean, not that I'm aware of. I mean, I'm not going to say there's not anything out there. It's just that I'm not aware of it if they are.
Somebody wants to know what an e-beggar is supposed to mean. That's somebody that sits and asks you for money on a regular basis on their YouTube channel and constantly do that. And we do not do that. We do not ask you for money. And when we discuss products, we do not ask you to go buy them. We just tell you what we think of them. And we say there's a link in the description if you want to check it out.
Yes, the cows got discussed already. Somebody wants to know how much the meal is going to cost. I have no clue. I'm still waiting on Justin to get with me. I told him I wanted to buy one of his first ones, so I'm waiting on him to actually get with me on the first meal, and we'll know after. And you'll have to talk to him. I can't do that for you.
Matt Brown wants to know how much firewood do you stack for the winter, especially if we had to cook with it.
We do a minimum of 5 cords in the Deep South. And I think that we're probably going to up that this year.
Yeah.
Has anyone been experiencing headaches or earaches, wondering if it is because of the towers? I have friends experiencing this.
According to how close they are.
It depends on how close you are to the towers. Yes, there is some truth to that. I'm not going to say it's, well, I can't say that. There is some truth to it. Let me just say that.
Okay. Do I cook chicken before putting it in the Harvest Right freeze dryer? Yes, I do. I usually, the chicken that I've done so far is when we boil the bones and I take the meat off the bones, I put that meat in the freeze dryer. And somebody want to know how hard is the EMP shield to install?
On what?
On anything.
Yeah, they're easy. They're very easy. But now, if Wanda put one on her car, but now the one on the house, I would recommend a licensed electrician do it. Even though it's very easy, I would just recommend it. I mean, I think it should be done.
Um, Karen says she noticed no pollinators this year. That's something we are
Yes,
noticing big
we are
time.
noticing the same thing.
Danny asked me the other day, he said, usually when he walks through his corn, he said, do you hear any bees? And I said, no. And we got to walking through, and usually you would hear bees buzzing like crazy, and there's just not any. And in my high tunnel, usually I would hear bees and see bees flying everywhere. You see an occasional wasp, and what else did we see in there?
No, bumblebee occasionally.
Yeah,
Something
but
like
very seldom. So they're not a good pollinating year.
Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. Some of these questions go by, and I'm just saying. Somebody wants to know my thoughts on the desalination or a distiller system. I think if you live in a place where you do not have access to good water from a well or from a creek or something like that, a mountain stream, yeah, you need some kind. You live next to a coastline, you need a desalination system or a distillery. You need something. Because water's going to be the big issue in the future. Let me just go ahead and say this. People think it's going to only be food. It's not only going to be food. I've been in tons of meetings and stuff like that trying to figure out what's going to be done about the water situation. And there is no good answers. I'm going to tell you, there's just no good answers.
Let's see. Somebody else
Alexis, let me says I've sown and resown my beans only to keep going out and find nothing but stems. What can I do? It's probably called um, mole crickets. More than likely, it's mole crickets. If you notice in your garden, if you see these little tiny tunnels all over the ground, it's like the ground's kind of humped up and it's about maybe 3/8 of an inch wide and it's all over your garden everywhere. It's probably mole crickets because they'll cut every plant off they come to.
Have you noticed people getting a lot of head congestion? Yes.
Yes, we have. There's lots of Saharan dust coming in, which is causing a lot of head congestion.
Ron is talking about
the old fart survival guidebook has a desalination system in it, I believe.
He said using 2 salad bowls.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see. Another one says they didn't notice many honeybees in the garden, but they appeared in the crepe myrtles.
Yeah, outlawing chemtrails would help, but they're not going to do that.
Boiling water and adding a little bleach may help. I'm not sure.
How many filters do we recommend for the Alexapure having and when to change them? Our Alexapure, we're still using the same filter we had now for what, 3 years?
But we don't use it.
We don't use it on a regular basis like most people do.
It keeps water in it because we keep it over at the cabin.
We keep
and I
it
go
full.
by and turn, put water in it and keep it going. But ours has not gotten dirty. We have our water's pretty decent here, and so I would say once a year you probably need to change it.
Well, it's every so many.
If you have dirt,
it depends on the water you're filtering.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue. It depends on how many
But
chemicals
I would
or
keep
trash.
3 or 4 extra filters.
We have a few extra ones ourselves. Yeah.
But we use ours at the cabin. We don't use it here at the house.
Yeah.
We have a filter here at the house, but at the cabin we filter everything over there, and so it's lasted us a while.
Let's see here. Honeybees only pollinate 5% of the flowers. Honeybees don't do very much for a garden. Let me just say that, okay? Now, if you got a fruit orchard or something like that, yes, they do a great job for that. But honeybees here do very little pollination of anything we have other than fruit trees in the early spring. Most of our pollinators are other insects. How do I know, Danny, when sweet potato slips are ready to be planted? When they're when they get to be about 6 inches tall, 8 inches, something like that, pull them up. As long as they got root system on the bottom of them, pull them up and plant them.
I'm trying to read. I've read so much, my eyes are messing up. Do what you can where you are. Great chat as oh, that's Doug and Stacy. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, always. Most people, it's really too late for them to be moving.
Yeah, it's too late to try to start over, really.
So you need
Unless
to,
you're extremely wealthy. Now, if you're extremely wealthy, you can probably pull it off. But if you're just having to work a regular day job, living from paycheck to paycheck, don't grow where you're planted. You know, just it's too late. You know, I mean, I hate to.
start buying up what you need. If you
Yep.
hadn't already, you're behind the game, but you can do it if you'll start picking up. I saw something today, some Patriot Nurse.
Yep.
Patriot Nurse is somebody that if you guys don't watch, go over and check her out every now and then. She said, if you start today, at least buy one can every time you go and put it up, or one bag of rice. She said, start somewhere. If you got more money than that, then buy more. But if you limited in money, buy that. She said, and stop going out and buying coffee. And I died out laughing.
Oh yeah.
She said that will save you some money to spend on buying a few cans to stash, and at least have something in your pantry for a little while to eat. Yeah, Patriot Nurse has some pretty good solutions. And if you want to know about medical on your homestead, she's the one. She has a course you can take and stuff so that you know how to handle some situations. They say she's really, really good at that. I've really thought about taking her course.
Let's see here.
I have noticed that there were little to no love bugs in Florida.
Same thing here. We didn't have hardly any this year.
Not yet, but usually the hurricanes bring them in.
Well,
we haven't had a hurricane.
Hadn't had a hurricane yet.
But we're good to Grumpy Acres. Grumpy says when his freedom is on the line, it's never too late.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see. You can go to churches and food banks
will help with prepping.
Yeah, for now, until they run out of stuff.
Oh.
So is the
So the filter is the difference.
Yeah, Berkey versus Alexa Pure, yes.
Yeah, it's all, I mean, both of them are okay. Let me say this. I mean, I'm not going to say that, you know, it depends on how much money you want to spend. If you want to spend a lot of money, go buy a Berkey. You know what I mean? That's what I'll tell you. But if you want to try to save as much money as you can, we have a code for the Alexa Pure if you want to use it. You know, it's a whole lot cheaper. One filter does what 2 filters in a Berkey does. I mean, we just looked at it from a financial standpoint. Yeah.
And somebody said, no coffee. No, I didn't mean don't have no coffee. And she didn't mean no coffee. I'm sure she's like me. You have to have some coffee. But buy your coffee, make your coffee at home. You can buy a $6 bag of coffee and it'll last you nearly a month, as opposed to you buy $15 a day or every couple of days. That's what she was saying. You could save money. Make your coffee at home. And there's lots of things instead of eating.
Beth says Berkey has been banned in several states. Yeah, because of the lies about what can be removed.
Oh.
I don't know any.
I didn't know about that.
They're moving all the carbon dioxide to the underground cities. I mean, I know about the underground cities. I probably know more than I should know about them. That's I can't talk about them, but I can tell you this: if you live in one of them, you have to have 2 vaccinations. I can tell you that.
The coffee. Now, a lot of people, you can go into town and buy coffee all day long, but if you're looking for long-term coffee, My Patriot Supply has what they call Franklin's Finest. That's some pretty decent coffee. I've bought some and stashed it up, and I've tried it. I've let other people try it. So we do have a My Patriot Supply link. Check them out. They had, I forgot if it was a week or a month supply, had $50 off. Because I try to check out the deals of the day. Y'all run over and check, because sometimes they have some pretty good deals of the day. Today was just radio or something. But sometimes they'll put those number 10 cans on sale pretty reasonable.
Veronica stainless. I would go with stainless or glass. That would be the two that I would go with. We're way past our time here.
Are we?
Yeah, which makes up for me coming in late, but I mean, it is what it is, you know.
Yeah. Do you know?
Did you do a video on this meal you are talking about, or is there a website I can go to see this meal? Justro has not put the video up yet that I'm aware of.
No, he hadn't.
He hasn't yet. I've just seen I've seen the meal
Well,
because he sent me the personal video.
Yeah. Well, the one thing is, if you know anything about patents, you don't want somebody stealing your design.
Right.
And that happens over and over and over again with every walk of life. People steal other people's ideas and pass them off as their own. And so this meal is like, it's beautiful and it's amazing. And I would hate for us to put something up and somebody steal his idea, you know, even though I think he has it patented, but people will take it and go with it, and he doesn't want that. So it'll be up shortly. He'll be showing it, I promise you.
Ursula says, do I recommend a windmill to extract water from a drilled well like the Amish do? Well, it depends. If you've got the money for a windmill and you have enough wind. If you don't have any wind, the windmill's not going to do you any good, but if you have plenty of wind, it's a great way to go.
Yeah.
All
right, so
JJV Homestead says they've heard underground cities are so big you can fly airplanes in them.
Probably.
That's
okay.
Okay, Wanda's sitting here grabbing me on the leg.
Going, okay, we ain't going.
She knows I can't go there.
We're over our time anyway.
Yeah, I can't go there. Yeah, you're.
They're saying please do a Bible study.
You're probably right.
Several people are saying that. Pray for my husband and sons. That's Frankie. Y'all can put your prayer request up. We do want to pray for our whole world, because usually we say for our country, but a lot of y'all are not from the United States, so we like to be able to pray for the whole world. And no matter what country you're in, seems like every country is in some type of turmoil, or there's something going on that is not fitting with what used to be the way we saw the world.
Yeah, it's a shame that we can't just sit here and talk about stuff freely like we should be able to. I mean,
JM says, zip it, Danny.
Jen probably knows she knows that Wanda's got me by the leg over here telling me, she's squeezing my leg, telling me, because she knows when I'm fixing to cross the line, and I have to be very careful.
Haven't seen a ladybug yet in Canada.
We've seen a few here.
Yeah, I've seen a few in
Okay, there's Bethany says she's having back surgery. Another one, Mary Beth needs prayer for back pain.
I actually
can you put an old-timey hand pump on a well that has been electric? Kip, it depends on how deep the well is. A well pump will fit on any of them, but you got to have the right hand pump. The little small ones is only good down to 25 feet. If you're going to go over 25 foot, you got to buy the big long handle ones that are a little bit more expensive. You can go over to Bison Pump from Maine. I think they carry them, but it can be done.
Darlene, you don't need a code. If you'll look in the description and look up My Patriot Supply, I think it's Prepare with Deep South. I think is the link. Click on that link and it'll automatically give you the discount. It'll show the Alexa Pure, and that's the price. Usually you can go on the regular My Patriot's Supply place, and it's a little bit higher than what ours is. They figured our page to have a discount for the Alexa Pure.
Yeah.
So you don't need a code on My Patriot Supply.
Right.
Miss Lippy put the link up.
Hold on here. Psalms 144 says horseradish plants planted in your potatoes will deter potato leaf bugs. Hey, if that's the truth,
you quoting the Bible?
No. If that's
144, don't say that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
If that's true, hey, try it. Give it a try. You have nothing to lose except for now. You got to realize horseradish is invasive, so
I
be
did
careful.
it in 2 pots. Thanks to a subscriber, and I mean it is blowing it out of the water.
Yeah.
Everybody that comes through and goes, "What is that?" And I said, "That's horseradish," and it's been there about a month. So.
What do you recommend for getting on a budget? I only have $317.
Figure out what your bills are first.
Ryan,
and then see how much you have to play with.
You got to figure out, you got to live within your means. Let me just put it that way. That's the best way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to learn to live within your means.
Yeah. Pay your bills. Make sure you have something to eat, and whatever's left over.
Make sure the Lord gets his part.
Yeah, and you take and budget that out for food or necessities. See, Mimsy thought the same. She thought you were quoting scripture too.
No,
I mean the way you said it.
Well, I mean the
or says.
Well, I mean that was their channel name. I mean, I want them to know who I was talking to. You know.
The way you said it, you said Psalms 144 says, and you went to quoting about horseradish and potatoes.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at you like.
I just read what they said. You know.
I was thinking, okay, you went off the deep end all of a sudden.
Yeah. Anyway, thank y'all for the Happy Father's Day, and Happy Father's Day to any fathers out there.
The Bible also says he should make the coffee. He brews. Mike listened. Danny makes my coffee every morning. I make her coffee
every morning. Yep.
Most definitely. So guys, we've got some things we got to get finished up tonight, and like I said, we will have a video on Monday, one later in the week. Tuesday will be porch time, and we'll see y'all again next Saturday.
Yeah.
We just got to get some things caught up and get things done, and we'll be back on track sometime.
Yeah, we'll be focusing mainly on the homestead from this point forward. I'm going to be able to be available for the homestead now 100% of the time, so that's a good thing. So guys, we're way past our time here. We've got a lot of prayer requests going up, so we're going to go ahead and go to the Lord in prayer. Father, we come to you tonight. We want to thank you for your love and the mercy and the grace that you give to each one of us. Thank you for what freedoms we do enjoy in this country, Lord. It may not be the best in the world right now, Father, but it's still the best country on the face of the earth to live in. We know it's going downhill really quickly. We know that the evil ones are running the country, and Father, that it's not going to be long before the Nephilim will probably start taking over, and you'll start seeing things that people can't explain. And Father, we just pray that when that time comes, that people will be able to be grounded in their faith, Lord, because in the future, faith is all you're going to have that's going to get you through this. And people's got to understand, it don't matter how much food, how much water, how much anything else you got, if your faith is not where it needs to be at, you're probably not going to make it. And Father, I pray for those people. I pray for the people in our chat tonight that their faith, that they'll increase their faith, Lord, and that it will grow and it will be great and strong. We have so many instances where God did not deliver the people from anything, Father. The 3 Hebrew children, they went through the fire. Daniel went through the lion's den. I mean, God just brought them through it. And Lord, we know that we got so many believers out there that think that all of a sudden they're just going to miraculously be sucked up out of here, and none of them going to have to endure anything. Father, we both know that is not right. You've never spared anyone from anything throughout life. Normally, you purge everything with fire and trial and tribulation. As a matter of fact, in Scripture, you say count it a blessing when you're tried and people come up against you for the name of Christ. And Father, we just pray that people can realize that life is not going to be a peaches and cream in the near future, Lord. It's going to be tough. And their faith is going to have to be grounded in you. They're going to have the whole armor of God in order to be able to withstand the fiery darts that the devil is going to be throwing at us here lately. And Father, I'm praying for everyone here tonight who's got physical issues. There's been a lot of people put up a lot of comments here having some back problems and surgeries, and Lord, not only that, people are having physical issues, mental issues, financial issues, all kinds of things, Lord, are starting to happen to people. And Lord, I know that in the upcoming days, there's going to be a lot more anxiety on people and depression and things like this. And I'm just praying for everybody, Father, including ourselves, that we can just make it through the upcoming trials, this heat. I'm praying for everybody to be able to just get some relief from this heat, Father. I pray you give us clouds, give us some wind, give us some rain, give us things that we need to be able to break this intense heat cycle and to get it out of the way. We know it's a cycle of nature right now. Man's tampering with it also, and we pray that man will not be successful in what he's trying to do, Father, but that the earth, in the long run, will win out. Father, forgive us where we failed you. Go with us through the night. Watch over and guide and direct each and every one of us, and forgive us where we failed you and the kingdom of heaven. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see here. Well, the chat just stopped. There it goes.
Thank you, guys. And thank you, guys, for the super chats tonight.
Yes, thank you for the super chats.
Being here for us and just giving us questions to keep us going. I mean, the questions are always very helpful.
Yeah. Well, it lets us know where everybody's at. And it helps us when it comes to creating videos.
Yeah. And like I said, right now I know we're going to do one on the sweet potato one's already done. It'll go up. And then he probably is going to do something on the drought, walking around showing different things here on our homestead and what's happened. We've had drought periods in the past. A spell last year, but was it the year before that we had about 100 days?
Yeah.
But never did it get to this point.
I don't think it ever got to this point.
It's never been this bad. Things usually would pull through. We'd usually get some shower. We did get one little sprinkle one day this week, but it wasn't much. It just kept it cool that evening.
Yeah, it sucked it up in just a few minutes.
So guys, whatever you got to do to cool off, taking showers, maybe, or a bath.
Yeah, don't waste your water, though.
Showers is a waste of water. A bath is easier. Just walk in with a wet cloth and cool off. One thing you could, peppermint oil.
Peppermint oil is great.
Spritz with peppermint oil.
Yeah.
That'll cool you off. That's kind of one of the things.
Everybody's wanting a tidbit tonight. What do you think?
According to what tidbit you gonna be giving them?
Oh, let's see. What's some of the latest things that I was just involved in? I
think they got tidbits all night.
I did give them some tidbits throughout the video tonight, and some of them's in riddles, but I'm going to tell you your biggest concern in the very near future is going to be water. Yeah. We talked about this in the beginning of the video tonight. Come up with a way to keep you some water. Do whatever you got to do to keep you some water, because I'm going to tell you, I don't care how much food you've got. If you don't have water to go with it, it's not going to do you any good. You can live longer without food than you can without water.
Yeah, and too, these like My Patriot Supply and all these long-term food storages, they got to have water.
Yeah.
And if your water supply, if you're dependent on that faucet and you don't have water and you've got all this stored food, it ain't going to do you no good. So you got to have water. Somebody said the modern day American Gothic, Danny and Wanda on Deep South painting. Oh,
by Grant Wood.
The picture, they're referring to the picture. Paul, our neighbor, took 2 pictures for us. Yeah. This was about 5-6 years ago. One of them, we are dressed like, I'll put it up at some point, maybe next Saturday if I can think of it. We are dressed like the American Gothic. Danny and I looked at the picture and I tried to duplicate as close as I could to what the man and the woman looked like, and Paul took the picture. And then we changed clothes, and the picture in the trailer that I put up today was the second picture where I call it a modern American Gothic picture.
Yeah. Matt, thank you for the super chat. Do I think the stock market is going to keep going down? The stock market is gone down already. Was it about 5,000 points?
In a month.
In a month, it's dropped.
No, wait, in a year.
Or was it a year?
I think it was in a year.
We looked at it.
Last year to now.
Yeah, you got to look at the stock market. You can't look at daily things.
Because it bounces up and down daily, and it makes it look like it's doing good.
You've got to.
I think in a year it went from 36,000 down to, it dropped right below 30,000 Friday.
Yeah.
So at one point it was up to 36,000. So when you're looking at, oh, it's up 5 points, it's down 10 points, it's up 6 points, it's down 3 points. You don't see the change, but when you gotta look at the
year to date, how much it's went down over a year's time.
And that's a lot in a year.
It's several thousand points over a year. As a matter of fact, 30,000 for the stock market is just way too high. That's not even sustainable. It's being propped up right now.
Little rock star girl, thank you.
Thank you so much. They're keeping it propped up right now because they know that there's a big housing bubble fixing to bust. And people who paid way too much for houses and land and all that kind of stuff is probably fixing to lose their behinds. As a matter of fact, we seen the other day, didn't they raise the interest rates again?
I think so. I
think that's the second one. They were talking about doing.
They done something.
They were talking about doing 5 this year. And I think that
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the second one they've already done, which is going to slow things down a whole lot.
Logan says they've lost over 7,000 in Dow this year alone. See?
Yeah.
So it's a big deal. We don't keep up with it religiously, but when it starts fluctuating like it did this week, we check it to see what's going on. And I kind of like to be able to check it year to date because that tells me more than day to day. Can we use empty cannon jars to can water?
Yes, Gail. You can put water in empty cannon jars.
Do you have to pressure can it?
No.
You can just water bath it?
You can water bath it.
You got any idea how long? I knew people do it. We just haven't. All right.
Okay.
It's a flower.
It's a flower. It says they're a young family thinking of buying a house. Should we just buy land? We are in Georgia and want to relocate to Florida. I won't tell anyone what to do. Never will I. But I'm going to tell you, I don't know that Florida would be the best choice. But if that's what you want to do and you feel like God has led you there, then I think that it's great. You need to find a place with a house already on it that's very economical. Do not try to build a house in this environment.
The building materials are outrageous.
Building material is outrageous.
You'll be spent $300,000 building a $100,000 house, and then when something happens, it's only going to be worth $100,000. Yeah. But you've done spent if you're building right now. It's going to be crazy.
Thank you, Idaho Hoosier.
Hills Mills said they raised the interest rates 0.75%.
Yeah, I thought they did.
Mickey and
Kathy.
Yeah. Kathy said they were on their date night tonight.
Barn White says Florida's full. That's what we tell people.
Mississippi's full.
TikTok says Florida's too crowded. That's what we tell people about Mississippi. We tell them, look, don't come to Mississippi. People here are horrible.
David asked, have I freeze-dried water yet? I don't know, but Danny's dehydrated it before.
I've dehydrated it. We haven't freeze-dried it yet.
I guess that's a video all on its own.
Of course, Florida land is outrageously priced. Barbara's right. It is.
Mississippi is too.
Mississippi's the same way.
Y'all, Mississippi their land.
Sandra's exactly right. Windows right now. I was in the construction business. Windows are 26 weeks out.
Yeah.
Now stop and think about that.
If you're going to start building now, you better put your order in for your windows because by the time you get to them, they still may not be here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
I don't have any 401k anymore. I got rid of all that stuff. I cashed in everything that I ever thought I might have because I knew the market is not going to be conducive here in the near future.
Wayward Son says, I'm going to move to Mississippi.
No, please don't come to Mississippi. People in Mississippi are horrible.
Says, Biloxi, Mississippi, good.
Nope, it's no good. It's no good. Hurricanes everywhere. They come in here and destroy everything, wash you away, tear up everything.
Said she forgot it was Saturday night. She's been busy, y'all. Y'all pray for my daughter and her family. Her father-in-law passed away this past week, and so they've had a lot on them, doing a lot, and so keep raising Ronies in your prayers. Your fireplace pipe was back ordered 6 months.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot that.
Guys, there's zip ties. Something simple as zip ties. They're about to run out of them.
Daddy bought a supply. Just thank you, Mr. Buddy.
Thank you, Mr. Buddy. Connie says, I'm in Iuka, Mississippi, and I love it.
But you don't want a whole bunch
But you don't want
people.
a ton of people moving in around you.
We got enough out here in our stick.
Rosie says, so is California price for a house is ridiculous? Yeah, I can imagine.
But Mississippi is too. But it's coming down. We've noticed that houses do seem
They
to
are
be coming
going down some.
some.
Yeah. Kip says Alabama is hot. We have rattlesnake, moccasin, copperhead, and other stuff trying to get you. Same thing in Mississippi. We got like Louisiana, Mississippi's the same way. We got mosquitoes as big as turkeys over here. They'll tote you off. I mean, you do not want to get bit by one of them. They'll stick a needle, slam through you. You know what I mean?
We've got armadillos. We've
got armadillos, rattlesnakes, moccasins, ticks, skunks. I mean,
raccoons.
All kind of horrible creatures. Coyotes come out of the woods and tote you off and just drag you into the woods and chew your legs off. I mean. Okay. I gotta get off of here. It's getting late. You know what they call it? DAD, don't you?
Yeah, Danny
after dark. Well, it's terrible to have Danny after dark. Yeah.
Y'all. I'm
Time for our house sales in Oklahoma. It's about $30,000. Gosh, that's cheap.
Mr. Buddy says you're welcome. Any more of them tidbits help?
Oh yeah.
Turkey mosquito.
Will things ever be right again? Rob, let me tell you what I was told in a financial meeting. We will never go back to pre-2019 again. They're going to make sure of that. So think about how good it was in 2019 and the years before. They have already said they're never going to let us go back to that again. So use that as a new baseline if you want to look at it like that. Danny, is your tractor for sale? I don't think it is. I mean,
JM at the Nut House said alligator farm. Well, our alligator farm
it's actually gone away.
Is going away and going into a.
How would we say that? It's going into a carbon credit program.
Yes, a carbon credit program.
Yes.
No more gators.
No more gators. Yep.
They're going to fix it all up.
At least some of them might have slipped out and got away, but I mean.
Yeah.
Nikki says Dad is hilarious. That's Danny After Dark. You don't want to be one. Danny After Dark is dangerous.
He's getting silly. He's tired.
I am. It's a good thing I took my weapon off before I came in here tonight.
Well, these people are being nice now.
They are.
You can't be shooting at the screen because they make
I know.
comments.
Be like Jed Clampett around here. Yeah.
No, we can't do that. We can't shoot at the screen if somebody makes an ugly
That's
comment.
it.
We got moderators that do a fine job.
Our moderators do a fine job. You know what? We didn't have a bunch of trolls tonight.
I'm glad. I was
really looking, figuring we was gonna have some.
I thought we would, but we're really good. We're doing good, and our moderators, all these blue wrenches you see here, our moderators keep our chat rolling. They put up links and they look at your questions and help answer questions if they need to, and they just keep any bad comments out. And tonight has been a really good night, and we got to go. We've been on here almost 2 hours.
We've been on here almost 2 hours, guys. I am so sorry for keeping y'all that long, especially y'all on the East Coast. I know y'all probably
They got a bedtime.
I'm just excited because I have a chapter of my life that's over with, and I'd probably be up all night thinking about it. So,
Whack-a-troll.
Yeah, it's called Whack-a-troll.
But see, Romans 12:18 says
Whack-a-troll. Is that in Romans 8:12?
That's Romans 12:18.
Romans 12:18 says Whack-a-troll. Okay.
See, y'all with these Bible verses now, y'all gonna make us say.
You know what it was? The trolls didn't recognize me tonight. That's what they're saying. Hey, it's not me.
But I mean, every time somebody with a Bible verse and you say the Bible verse says, people are gonna think you quote the scripture really, really bad.
I know it. Anyway, thank y'all for the Happy Father's Day, guys. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. If you're
I
a
know
dad,
Danny's daughter's coming to visit tomorrow,
yeah.
so we're gonna spend some time with them. And
Anyway,
Jed says you guys called me a troll once, and Danny said you may have to knock her out or him. Yeah, Jed, we had to apologize, and we had to have our moderators put him back on
Yep.
here because he was putting up an awful lot in caps, and it was just going one right after another. They thought it was a troll.
They thought it was a troll,
and
he
got actually
his
hit the
computer
button.
got away from him, and he couldn't stop it.
That was stupid.
That was funny.
And so that happens on occasion.
Miley said, "Did I pass the torch?" Yes, I did, to a younger generation.
So y'all be careful. I got to figure out what to do with. I hit that. Yeah. Okay.
Whoa, there you go. You better.
All right.
You better. Okay, you got to end the stream here and then over here before it's still going.
Yeah, I know. But guys, we will talk to y'all next Saturday in a live stream, and be looking for Monday, Thursday or Friday a video, and
Tuesday, we got
Tuesday
porch
time.
Porch time's
Always
got to
porch
keep going,
time.
guys.
As long as you can do it.
As long as I'm physically
And
able
you know
to
what
do
I'm
it.
gonna do when you can't? I'm
You
gonna
gonna
take
go back and
the
take the old
porch
ones and
times
bring
and
them
I'm gonna
back.
Bring them back.
Yep.
You know, I was really surprised when we get off that a lot of people who went back and watched Porch Times 2 and 3 years ago, and they were saying this. You said this 2 years ago, and it means something today. It makes sense today. People didn't listen 2 years ago. Well, some did.
Some did.
But now people are going back and watching older videos.
Well, that's because the information I have is for the future. It's not for right now.
And when you say something, people think you're.
They think it's going to happen in the next week, and technically, I'm trying to give them a heads up. I mean,
and when it don't happen, people get aggravated.
This is our 7th year.
Yeah.
I have been released now, and I can go and do and enjoy myself. So that's what we're going to do. Thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.